guys, my name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. So I hope you guys are liking the content that I'm releasing out so far, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to this video and comment down below what other videos you would like me to do. But in this one, I thought it'd be helpful to kind of go over the application process and what you guys need to put on your resume to make sure that you are able to get through the application.
'Cause anywhere with you feels right, anywhere with you feels like Paris in the train, Paris in the train. When I'm with you, when I'm with you, Paris in the train, Paris in the train.
So, first things first, of course, we apply our applications online, right? And the first thing we have to go through is the computer system. So before we even get to talk to a person or even get to see a person face to face, you are met with a computer. And the important thing is that computers are picky. They like specific keywords. And what hospitals like to do is they like to give these systems keywords that they're looking for when they're going through your application and through your resume to make sure you are qualified. So I'm going to go through an application right now, and this is just a random one that I found online, and that way we can kind of go through the process together and you can see what I'm talking about when it comes to keywords. So with your resume, obviously the first thing that you usually put is your objective, what you're looking for. So it's usually a nurse position or whatever you're looking at, and then usually you'll put in some qualifications that what you can bring to the table, basically. So what I like to do in my resume is I put what I'm applying for, and then I put some bullet points. And in those bullet points, this is where I become creative. And I try to make sure whatever I'm putting kind of brings back to the application in some kind of way. So for example, this one that I'm applying to is an RN level 3 NICU at Kaiser Permanente in San Francisco. Obviously this is 23 days ago, so it may not be up anymore, who knows, but we're just going to go through it just so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. So when it comes to keywords, computers like to pick specific types of words coming out of your application and your resume. So for example, this one says staff nurse 2 is a professional caregiver who assumes responsibility and accountability for a group of patients for a designated time frame. So in that one statement alone, I can already pick out what the computer may be looking for. And in this one, it already says responsibility and accountability. Those are two keywords that you can already put in your resume. However you put it, it's kind of up to you. It just really depends. You got to be creative with this, bring out your writing skills. But I can already tell in this first statement, those are the two keywords. So kind of include that somewhere in your application somehow. And next, the SN2 provides care to patients via the therapeutic use of self, the nursing process, the environment and instrumentation, and other healthcare team members. So in the second statement, other keywords that stand out to me are nursing process and healthcare team members. So in this one, they want to see that obviously you're doing safe patient care, you're following the nursing process that you learned in nursing school, obviously, and that you work with other people well. So you're working with other healthcare team members. So for example, in my resume, I would probably put something along the lines of can coordinate care with other healthcare team members and worked effectively using the nursing process. So I have those keywords in. Obviously, you can word it however you want. This is just a specific example based off of this sentence. So you got to be creative with it, and you have to tailor each resume according to the application itself. So you can see why this can be super time consuming, but this is how people know that you are actually, being proactive and you're making sure that you are following what the application wants. Of course, people don't want to hire, copy and pasters and you just use it for every resume. Try to kind of accommodate each application you apply for. So I'm going to scroll down a little, and this part, it says essential functions. So these are basic things you're going to do on the unit. Performs assessment data collection in an ongoing systematic manner, focusing on physiologic, psychosocial, cultural, spiritual, and cognitive status, also nutrition, pain, patient family education, family involvement, and patient advocacy. Okay, guys, that was a mouthful. And to be honest, all of those have so many keywords you can possibly use. I'm not telling you need to put all of them because that would be nearly impossible, and that's going to take your entire resume. So take out some words, some keywords. I think main focus is being able to perform an assessment in a cohesive manner and on time, making sure you're diligent, and of course, focusing more on patient families because you want to show them that that's your main priority. Nursing in general is a family-focused centered care, so we want to make sure we're providing quality care, but we're providing family-focused involvement and family-focused care as well. So that's a tough one because I would honestly say that all those words are keywords, so just pinpoint a few of them, pick out a little bit, and just kind of come up with a creative statement for that. And then for the next one, formulates a goal-directive plan of care that is prioritized based on determined nursing diagnosis and patient outcomes. So keywords here, obviously, nursing diagnosis and patient outcomes, plan of care. Those are some keywords there. So you can see where I'm kind of going with this. There are some, and you will notice this with all applications you do, they kind of are pretty similar. You're going to say pretty much some of the same basic things. They are just pretty wordy in my opinion. So kind of go through the whole list, pick out a few keywords, and include that somewhat in your application as much as possible. I know, look at this one. There's just so many. It's nearly impossible for you to include all of this. Just pick a few keywords from it. And then obviously the main important part is when it comes to qualifications, you want to make sure you meet the requirements. So obviously this one is asking for 1 year of recent neonatal experience in a level 2 nursery or 1 year recent in the last 3 years experience in a level 3 nursery. So I'm sorry to say, but when you apply to these positions and you don't have the specific qualifications they're asking for, your application will be booted out. So people do ask, can I apply for positions when I don't have experience and they're asking for like at least 1 year? You can, but I'm honestly telling you, you're wasting your time. I have done it before and my applications don't go through. So you can try. Honestly, I look for ones that ask for no experience necessary. Mostly I apply as a new grad for positions that are clinical 1 or a new grad program specifically because those ones for sure know you are not coming in here with experience and they already know that. So that way you are qualified for your position. Sometimes other applications may ask for other things, whether you have certifications. So NICU in specific, they always ask if you have NRP. Sometimes you may be trained in NRP at the hospital you're going to be working at further on in your career. So maybe you may not need it, but to be honest, as a new grad, when I was applying to these positions, I knew a lot of them showed that they wanted you to be BLS certified and NRP certified. So I went out of my way. I got my NRP certification. It really helped me a lot, and it stands out in your application because you're going to need it eventually, so might as well do it. And of course, a lot of these applications require you to have clinical experience or at least graduate with a BSN in nursing. So I'm not saying that all applications require you to have a BSN. Some of them may not. It's not mandatory. Sometimes it's just a preferred thing and you can get your BSN later. But what I did notice that it's super competitive nowadays and having your BSN is just a normal standard to have. So honestly, just apply anyways. If you don't have your BSN, maybe you might get in, but I do notice that a lot of applications that I apply for do want you to have your BSN at least. So just something to think about. In this one though, it says high school diploma, GED, or graduated from an accredited nursing program. So they do want you to have some sort of minimal amount of hours specifically for this application. But then, like I said here, they want you to have a current license as a registered nurse. So that's usually another thing people will ask, can I apply? Even though I don't have my nurse license yet, yes, you still can. I did apply for some positions even before I got my nursing license. And some people will take it and you can tell them that I took the NCLEX already or I'm about to take it and I'm waiting on my results or I will get it soon. Is that okay with you? And a lot of applications will be okay with that. As long as in some period of time you're going to get your license, then usually they hold off and they don't really care too much about it. So yes, you can still apply for jobs even though you don't have your license yet. And then of course, basic life support, demonstrating knowledge in the RS scope of practice, English skills, interpersonal skills. So all these things, obviously, you guys should already have. BLS is kind of a standard. Even in nursing school, that was a requirement for me. So I'm sure all of you guys have that. But if not, please go get it renewed. The application process can be super daunting and it's just so time consuming. But really, you have to have a lot of patience. Take the time to go through each application, go through each keyword and try to incorporate that into your resume as much as possible. Like I said, I usually do at least 3 to 4 bullet points and incorporate as much keywords in there as I possibly can. And then afterwards, usually right below that, I will put the education. So what school I went to, whether you got any awards or anything like that, whether you're on Dean's List or whether you graduated with honors, and then right after that, I'll put my clinical experience. So with my new grad resume, I did put in all the hospitals that I did my clinical experience at and how many hours I did in each one. So you have to go back and kind of figure out how many hours you did in each hospital, where you worked at, things like that. But sometimes it may be beneficial for you because they can see, oh, you've had experience at this hospital and how many hours you worked there. Or some people like to look at your senior practicum or your senior preceptorship. Where did you do your senior focus in? That is super important for a lot of hospitals that you will apply to, because for me specifically, doing NICU, they wanted to see that I had experience, somewhat of experience in the NICU at least, and having exposure into it. And I did my senior practicum in a NICU. It was a level 3, so that really helped me gain some of the experience that I needed when it came to answering scenario questions and just having somewhat of experience in the NICU. And then after that, you'll just talk about any other work-related experience you have. So this is the perfect time for you to talk about any extracurriculars you did, whether it's work study or you had a job or you volunteered somewhere. Use this opportunity to let yourself shine. What I do recommend that I learned from other people is try to limit your resume to only 1 page. I know some people can say controversial things and they can say, no, it doesn't really matter. To be honest, I'm going to tell you, people don't have the attention span to flip through pages. They don't want to spend the time reading through all of these things. And especially if you can be like me and get super wordy and chatty, you want to add all these extra nonsense to your resume to make it look like there's so much on here. Try to limit yourself to that. Don't put all this unnecessary things. Limit yourself to 1 page only. Put whatever is necessary. You can put 1 sentence stating what you did. So let's say, for example, I volunteered at a hospital. I volunteered at what hospital from this period to this period, and then right underneath I limit myself to only 1 sentence on what I did. So for example, when I volunteered as a baby cuddler, I volunteered at this hospital from this time to this time, and I was a baby cuddler in the NICU. That's pretty much it. And if you had any other experience that you've done, you can talk about that, but try to limit to 1 sentence. And obviously, if you didn't have that much experience or you didn't do any other extracurricular activities, try to put other things that you may have experience in that you've done in the past, even when you were in high school, that still may count. Probably limit yourself to like senior year at the most. I think anything beyond that isn't as relevant anymore. Unless it's something that makes you stand out so much beyond everyone else that you did in high school, sure, go ahead and put that. But try to limit to the things that you've done in college while you were in college, because that's kind of what they look at. And also try to relate the experiences that you've done back to nursing. So what did you do that was beneficial? Whether you volunteered, did you do community service? Like what type of community service? Whether you were active, working with your community and with other people. Or if you did tutoring, what kind of tutoring you did? What did you do for leadership? You can put all of these examples in your work-related experience. And then right under my work-related experience, I usually just put random skills. So in this one, I would usually put, for example, if you know another language, you can put a language that you know and that you're fluent in. And then you can also put like a charting system that you're used to. So for example, a lot of hospitals will use Epic. Some hospitals use like Cerner or Meditech. You can write those, and that can also help you when you are applying to hospitals. They like to see that you know different types of charting applications. So you can also put that there as well. So I hope you learned something in this video and that this video is useful to you. I hope I wasn't rambling on too much and that you guys actually gained some knowledge from this. Please let me know down below what kind of videos you would like me to make, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
'Cause anywhere